Hi, my name's Brian Goldberg. I'm President of Investors Org, and today we're very excited to have an interview from another prominent investor in Australia, Holger Arians. Welcome.
Thank you very much for joining us.
So, want to know a bit more about yourself. You're relatively new to Australia, so tell me a bit about your background and where you came from.
So I'm originally from Germany, as I guess the name and the accent suggests. I came here about 5 years ago. Back 15 years ago, I did my internship in Australia. Absolutely loved it. And then 5 years ago, I came back and settled, got married, and the Australian dream.
Very good.
And I've always been an entrepreneur. I always invested in companies back in Germany. And here in Australia, I work with Dominant Venture Partners, founded by Dominic Carosa.
Yes.
Actually, more than 15 years ago, so he's been around for a long time in that space.
Yes.
And I'm running that business, and we are investing in early stage startups.
Very good. Very good. And what makes startups appealing to you personally?
What I like most really is the people and the journey, because the journey is much longer than eventually the exit, hopefully. But it's a journey because it's all about relationships and building something. Usually these people are very passionate. They want to change the status quo. They want to solve problems, big problems, ideally. So I like the journey a lot, and the journey is all about the people.
Excellent. Very good. And now from an investment perspective, which hopefully you have to separate a bit of your personal passion and look at it from an investment, what do you look for in a startup as a basic foundation that's something worth considering?
So from experience over the years, it goes back to the people. I believe that if it's a great idea, average people or great people can make an average idea work, but average people cannot make a great idea work, if that makes sense. Yeah. So let me repeat that, and maybe we can cut this out. I think that great people can make an average idea work. Average people cannot make a great idea work. So what that means is that it's all about the execution and the people in the business. So the idea, if you look at the whole ecosystem, and we have to look globally these days because competition is global. There are probably 100 at least companies that are trying to solve the same problem at the same time. So it is really about what you do on a daily basis, which resources you give to the business, and you want to give it the very best resources. If it's financial, raise enough capital. If it's on the HR side, recruit the right talent. All these resources and the decisions that the founding team makes are vital for a startup. So we are very much looking at the people and how they intend to execute their business idea.
And do you actively look for startups, or there's enough that find you?
It's always about deal flow. We'd love to increase our deal flow because then we can make better decisions. So we do look actively to invest in companies, yeah.
And you mentioned that they do need to be internationally oriented or globally oriented. Is that always the case, or can they have a potentially good local market capture, and that would attract you to invest?
Yeah, 100%. So I believe that the first steps first are really important. So yes, a global vision is important, but if you go global from the first day and you open up, you start selling in 5 countries, you're making 5 times the same mistakes, and you pay 5 times for that. So I think an initial focus on the local market is great, and if things work out and if you iron out all these mistakes, then the next step would be to go global. So global aspirations, I'm very much for it, but I think a focus on the local market goes first.
Excellent. And you mentioned earlier that the people, so specifically the founder, how important is the founder and your relationship with the founder for you to look seriously at investing?
So if I look at our current portfolio and you know how the statistics are in venture capital, the majority doesn't survive really. So if I look at our portfolio, and I at the past especially, the founders make the difference most of the time. And the companies that are doing really well, I don't see them much. We are very organized in our interactions with the founders and with the management team. So the companies that have not such a strong founding team, where we only find out over time that there is a problem potentially, that really is, these are the companies that are not performing well. And again, it goes back to the founding team. So that's what we again focus on very much.
Is building, and do you try to assist them if you find a gap in their knowledge or expertise or something?
100%.
So supporting the founders.
So absolutely, and I'm not looking for the founder that has it all, because I don't have it all. No one has it all. It's more about awareness.
Yeah.
Knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're not so good at. Work on your strengths. Become amazing at your strengths. Because if you work on your weaknesses, there will always be someone better at the weaknesses. I don't love accounting. If someone loves it, will always be better.
Yeah.
I continue working on my strengths to be exceptional at these strengths. So my job is also to comfort the founder and build the infrastructure and the team around him or her,
Yep.
to have a winning team together. It's not only one person.
Very good. Great philosophies. Excellent. And now I do know a bit, but I'd like to hear, what are you currently up to? What projects are you working on? And what are you looking to do in the next period of time?
So right now we are very strongly invested in digital currencies and blockchain, which is a buzzword, but we've been doing it for a number of years now. We're quite successful. We have a company called bitcoin.com.au, which is very strong. We offer bitcoins to Australians. You can buy them at news agents, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
That's one of our focus areas, so cryptocurrencies, blockchain. We're even looking at ICOs, which is initial coin offerings, so the next big thing in raising funds for great ideas and companies. That's certainly one of our key areas. And then we are very much involved in childcare, so childcare technology.
Yep.
And there's a lot to catch up. We have a business that is servicing childcare centers in Australia with last-minute bookings. So that is going quite well. And we have a superfood business which is called Hummingbird. Hummingbird has a number of different breakfast products. So it's a online breakfast product company. So that's also something a little bit not so technology heavy, but it's certainly a trend and it's going quite well. We just were on Shark Tank here in Australia.
Very good.
And did quite well. We rejected the offer from Naomi. But yeah, we are very confident about this business as well. So we are always looking for innovative startups. We are industry agnostic. We like technology because we understand it. But in general, we'd like to have a chat with everyone who really has a business, not just an idea, a business, bit of traction, but still early stage.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And in case there are startups watching this specifically, have you got any tips for them on what they need to do? You mentioned scale up and work into a business. Maybe that's a direction.
So it's all about ideas versus having actually created something. So what I believe is that execution is so important. So an idea only goes that far. You really have to make something out of it. And again, think about these 100 companies around the world that are doing the same thing. They have the same idea, and the one that's winning, or the couple of the companies that are winning, are the ones that execute right. So when we look at companies, we'd like to have them executed a little bit already, so that we can see what they've done and if they are sort of pulling the right triggers, so that translates into traction, customers, traffic, users, revenue. So we'd like to see that when we look at businesses, not just the idea stage.
Excellent. Really good. very, very informative. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Ryan.
And sharing your insights into investing in the startup scene here in Australia. Thanks,
Thank
Holger.
you. Appreciate
Excellent.
it. Cheers, mate.